How's it going? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone. So today we're going to talk about something that has less to do with tone, but it's really, really important because we're talking about resources and guitars. It is May 19th, 2017, and this morning an article came out on the internet that was talking about how Fender and some other manufacturers are going to go to Behringer for fretboards instead of rosewood. The reason they're doing this is because the earlier part of this year, January, you may have heard this already, the convention, I'm using my computer to cheat today, Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, CITES, said that basically these 300, so first of all, this CITES organization, it doesn't have anything to do with the American government. It doesn't have anything to do with one government in particular. It is an international body that regulates and controls the movement of endangered woods around the world. They're the wood police. Okay? So they're the people that are responsible for not allowing us to use Brazilian rosewood anymore. Okay? So on January 2nd of this year, they expanded that rule to 300 types of rosewood, which is going to include all the rosewoods that we use in guitars. It's going to include cocobolo, and it's also going to include there's a couple more: cocobolo, a few things of babinga, casso, which is kind of an African rosewood, and African blackwood. Okay, so all of these woods are included in this list, saying you can use them, but if you have to move them from one country to the other, so if I'm going to ship a guitar from one country to the other, you have to apply for this paperwork that documents where you got the wood, how much it is, where it's going, all that stuff. It's almost like a passport for the piece of rosewood, and it applies to any piece of little rosewood. I mean, little bit, on up to, a whole guitar, big pieces of rosewood. Okay. It's going to make it very difficult to move this stuff from country to country. I'm going to give you two examples, because you're going to say, well, what if I sell a used guitar that is before this? This is a 2016 Breedlove with rosewood back and sides. If I were to sell this to somebody in Canada, to somebody in Mexico, to somebody in England, it doesn't matter where, if it has to cross a border, I have to apply for a piece of paper that documents the moving of that. Okay? That's for a guitar that was made before this even was a problem. This guitar is made in 2017. I just finished it yesterday. Rosewood fretboard. Same deal. I would have to apply for paperwork. Now, as a builder or some kind of dealer, you can get what's called a master list, where you can get, like, it kind of umbrellas you, but you still have to apply for paperwork for every piece of wood. Now, here's the deal. Right now, it takes like 4 months for all this paperwork to go through. If you live in the United States and you need to move a guitar, you apply through the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. I will put a link in the description of this video on YouTube, where you'll be able to go and read some more about this for yourself. So I've made videos about this before. There's a lot of misunderstanding about it, but the bottom line is this. Wood is a finite thing. Once it's used up, it's used up. And a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but rosewood, because tone, because whatever. You know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I'm going to probably make some people upset with this, but a lot of the cork sniffers that are really hanging on to rosewood and hanging on to ebony and hanging on to really endangered stuff, it's just wrecking it. And I know that it comes from the Chinese furniture industry. I get that. But everybody has to do their part somehow. And using alternative materials like Behringer, like Richlite as an ebony replacement, like reclaimed woods, all that kind of stuff, you know what? That's what the 21st century is. That's what the future is, and that's where this is going. And everybody's going to be like, well, that's not the way they did it back in whenever. There's a reason for that, okay? And this is the future. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video that'll make it a lot easier for you to find these resources and read it for yourself. I'm not a lawyer or anything, so read it for yourself, understand it, and just know that if you move a guitar over the line of a country, you know, the country border, and you do not put this paperwork in, you have a very big chance right now, because they're really on this, of losing your guitar, of being fined, of having all kind of legal trouble. So don't try it. And because it's the right thing to do, endorse companies that are going to go to alternative materials. You know, we've already ditched rosewood. I had a couple. This is my shop piece of junk neck that I use for stuff. But we've already ditched rosewood. We're not doing any more rosewood. This guitar has an ebony fretboard, but it's a striped ebony fretboard. I'm not even ordering stuff, even for my own personal use. We're gonna just draw a line in the sand and say, you know what, Dylan Custom Guitars is not using that stuff anymore. We're gonna go with Pale Ferro. We're gonna go with Richlite. We're gonna go with Reclaimed Walnut. We have a whole bunch of other opportunities and options to use, and it is up to you as a player and up to you as a buyer to understand how all this works and understand that this is the way that life is and the way it's going, and you're just going to have to get on board. And if it's going to affect your sound of your copied 1959 whatever, then find a new sound. I mean, that's the way it is. So anyway, I just wanted to share this with you. My name is Dylan. This has been Dylan Talks Tone. If you have any questions or comments about this, I want to know what you think about it. Put it in the comments below. Please subscribe to our channel. We have tons of cool stuff. And have a great day.